Hello, welcome to Toffee TV. It is the final word. Wolverhampton Wanderers 2, Everton 0 in the Carabao Cup. The Toffees sent crashing out in disappointing fashion. Everything we talked about on the preview and building up to it, very much like Anfield, came to the fore in this one and resulted in us being knocked out.
Yeah.
So, see you later.
Yeah.
What did you make of it?
Yeah, I wanted it to not have the same narrative of everything else that ever happens to Everton. But it did, didn't it? Like, we knew there was going to be changes. And I have no problem with changes. I advocated changes.
Did you advocate 7?
No, I didn't, and I certainly didn't advocate some of the players. But I do think that some people have got to recognise that it's important to recognise that we didn't make changes to rest players, apart from Mykolenko and Idrissa Gana Gueye. There's a lot of chatter we haven't got a game till Monday, so why did we rest players? We didn't rest players. What we did was, what was always going to happen was players needed an opportunity and those players wasted that opportunity.
Yeah.
So it was always going to be a case of a few players. Like at my team, I went for Mykolenko being out the team because he's been struggling with an injury. Ghana being out the team, but I wanted Merlin Roll to play. Diblin had to start, and Barry had to start, and maybe Carlos Alcaraz had to start. Because, and this is a knock-on effect, by the way, of buying players late, then not being integrated into the team, because David Moyes doesn't like making subs. So that's, if you're going to put anything on David Moyes, that's what... So first of all, it's the club buying late. David Moyes not trusting players that have been bought. He's buying us
Till they're up to speed.
Till they're up to speed. And this is what happens. And it's happened, and we mentioned this, it's happened on so many occasions for Everton. We highlighted this before the game, where this has been rinse and repeat for Everton on so many occasions. No matter who the manager was. Roberto Martinez, Koeman, Silva, Moyes. It's happened under all of them. The same. I remember when we played someone at Koeman, obviously in Norwich, but we played someone at home, and we played a midfield of Ademola Lookman, Kieran Dowell. Do you remember it? I think, and somebody else.
We won.
Yeah, we won, but we looked awful.
Wasn't Stevens?
Yeah, there was someone.
In the second half.
Yeah, and it was like, this always happens. You get through the first game, you beat some normally at home, and everyone's happy, and then you get to this one and you play someone in the Premier League away, and you do the same trick. And I don't get me wrong, I completely get people saying you've got to go strong, but there's also the flip side of looking at it from that point of view and going, well, Tillman Aburam has started Premier League games this season for us. Carlos Alcaraz has started Premier League games for us in the year and has played games this season. So there's 2 straight away that you go, they have no excuses for going into the team last night.
Especially
not doing
Alcaraz,
well. Yeah. Barry, okay, he has started Premier League games, but he's still, the gap still. Diblin, first game. Coleman, I don't know what he was doing playing Coleman at left back. I think that's a stretch. And I also don't get Dwight McNeil playing either. The manager has squeezed them out. Let's get it right. He squeezed them out. He doesn't really want them. So why are you playing him in a game like this? And the goalkeeper, I'd never have played the goalkeeper last night. No matter who the second choice goalkeeper was, I would have never have played anyone other than Jordan Pickford. Because I just think when you're playing Premier League opposition, you need to have that structure. And it's not about just making saves, by the way. It's about Jordan Pickford and his leadership and his and his commanding. So,
No, it's difficult to argue it more. I mean, I think the Dwight McNeil thing is he had played in the Premier League and he started games under Moyes, so he sort of falls in with the others, but he's done himself no favours. He started against Mansfield and was poor, and he hasn't figured since, and he started last night, and I'm not sure whether we'll see him again, to be honest. I don't think the manager was human with him and came off, he didn't even look at him, so I'm not sure what's happened there, but too many of those players who wanted the opportunity didn't take it. You know, Dwight McNeil cry ass to the manager about getting a chance when you don't, when you're playing, you play so poorly. Timmy Boonen, you know, got some really good aspects of the Boonen, but still decision making not good enough, and still being caught on the ball like he thinks he's got an hour on the ball. You haven't got it in the Premier League against Premier League opposition. So he's dug a hole for himself. He's going to have to get back out of that. Coleman, like you, I don't understand it. Love Seamus, absolutely love him, but I do not understand for the life of me why he was left back last night. And even if the manager decided to go with him, I really don't understand when we're 1-0 down with 20 minutes left why Michalenko's the sub. I don't get it. Arsenal should have been on. We're 1-0 down, chasing the game. Put him on.
We've got Patterson there as well.
No, but Patterson...
No, I know, but if you're going to play Dwight McNeil...
Oh, I know. But what I'm saying is, if Patterson feels very much like Dwight McNeil, is that both of them will be out the door in January. But Arsenal's just coming. Now, if the manager's saying, got to let them build into it, you know, got to build them up, the physical aspect. But 20 minutes left when you're 1-0 down with a lad who's going to go that way, the way you want. Did it matter that if we lost 3-0 at that stage, we were out? We had to score, we were out. We ended up going ultra safe with Michalenko, and we conceded the goal anyway on the left-hand side because Michael Keane didn't go with the lad. The lad just ran past him, and I don't know what Keane was doing for it, but I really thought Arsenal should have been either starting or definitely. I'd have brought him on at half-time. 1-0 down, that first half was a shambles, and he should have been brought on at half-time, and he wasn't. And you know, I think, listen, it's well documented. I said this last night. I love David Moyes. I think he's been sensational since he come back in, really. From what he picked up from the other fella was a pile of shite. It was a mess. And he's done a brilliant job so far. But I'd have had to go with Sean Dyche last night for that team. So, you know, David's not above it. He's not above it by any stretch. So a lot of that is on him last night. And then, once you cross the white line, it's on those players. These are professional footballers. If he'd have gone with, you know, Alan Thomas or whatever his name's out there, 21s, and Braden Graham and these kind of players, Justin Clark, and we got beat like that, you go, well, the managers tried to give these lads some experience. You can't really complain. But like you just said, Alcaraz has played Premier League games, so's Boonen, so's McNeil. You know, Seamus didn't really do anything wrong. He didn't get roasted, but he's not going to bomb up and down that touchline. If he'd played him right back, I'd have gone, okay, he's a right back. Fine. But he didn't. He put him on the other side when we've got one. So there's, you know, there's big gaps. Tierno Barry, I seen him last season, and when we were going for him, I thought he'd be a good signing. He's been poor. He was poor last night. He's got to realise these big dogs of centre-backs are going to kick you, shove you, be in your ear, stand on your foot when you stood there, do all of this. And he's got to be able to just take it, get up and get on with it. It was a foul. The one he got booked for was a foul. The lad shoved him in the back. The referee isn't fit for purpose, Craig Pawson. He's a disgrace of a referee. And he's like that every time we have him. And he was like that the very first time he had us. I think it was Wolves away in a 2-2, and he sent Jagielka off in the first half for winning a ball. And he's never give us anything. So the manager's got to be in the player's ear about him before and go, you know how poor this fella is at refereeing, so you're going to have to get on with it. He can't be doing that.
No.
You know, Liverpool, Ekitike, done exactly the same, kicked the ball away, gets booked, scores a goal, takes the top off, he's suspended now. You know, when these young strikers, this is the learning curve. They're doing that to you. Get yourself up, jog back in. The best way to hurt those defenders is put the ball in the back of the net. He got booked, which meant he was always coming off at half time. Always, no matter what he did, because he get frustrated and frustrated. If he wouldn't have been booked, the manager might have still hooked him, but I think he's got more chance of staying on for another 15, 20 minutes. He can't really moan now, because he's had a bit of a chance, he's done nothing with it. So, hugely frustrating. But I must admit, when I seen the team, I was just like, what is that? It's always
hard when you see a team and you just go, how does that fit together? Like, that's all. I always find that, like, worrying. And again, I bang on about this all the time. Square pegs in round holes. I just don't get it. I don't get how you've got players on the bench who can as I said, I would have made changes last night, but no way would I have left Jack Grealish out that side. There's not a chance I would have left him. He doesn't need a rest. And I just think that he keeps the ball so well There's just no way. And as I said, Jordan Pickford. But I think you have to. You can't be. You can't have someone playing left back who doesn't play like in his normal position. Hardly any of the time. Yes, he done well against Mansfield, Seamus,
but he was right back.
And it's at home, and it's all comfortable, and you're playing a team a couple of divisions below. But suddenly you're playing Premier League opposition, and you've got a guy in front of you who's not playing either, and you've got a guy next to you who, in Michael Keane, who's the fourth choice centre back and isn't left footed either. And suddenly the balance of the team that's where you make changes, but you've got to make the right changes. I just find that really strange for Moyes to make a decision like that when, if you don't want to play Nathan Patterson, but you are playing Dwight McNeil, I just don't get that. Like, Dwight McNeil's finished at Everton in terms of, like, he has no future beyond the next couple of transfer windows. Okay, he's your player, you can play him, but the other changes are changes that are there for the future. Like, Dibbling and Barry, as we said, and Carlos Alcaraz, you're going to use them. But I just didn't get that. And that just created, the left-hand side was just abysmal. Absolutely abysmal. And then, so you force onto the right-hand side, where you've got Dibbling, who's main MO is obviously dribbling, and you saw little moments, but nothing in the right areas, halfway line, and we're not getting higher off the pitch. But that's because we've got a centre back playing right back as well. So the balance of the team was all over the place, where at least you had a chance to make changes and have balance. You could have had a right back playing right back, you could have had a left back playing left back. And I think that's where, for me, David Moyes, it was wrong last night. Not changes. I fully understand changes, but just the wrong changes. We could have played. For me, it could have been Dewsbury Hall playing instead of a Adesanya Gay last night, and still had Carlos Alcaraz in the team, and still had Grealish in the team. For me, I think just that having that balance for me would have, because he saw the difference in the second half.
He could have played Dwight McNeil at left back. If he wanted a left foot, a bit of balance, and to give him a game, he could have played him at left back. But Arsenal was surely the thing. And certainly when we went behind, he was the sub. You know what I mean? It was a strange one. I mean, the game was. I'm more disappointed with the way we played than the result. The result's crap, right? And this was always the danger. They getting beat every week. The crowd weren't that bothered at all, and you can't blame them. Wolves were just like, see what happens. That's where I thought we might go and try to grab hold of the game. But when I seen the team, that was my fear, that there was just too many changes. I've seen it all before in that cup. Seems no matter what we do in that cup, it always plays out like this, no matter what. We had a half decent chance early on. Alcaraz would run, release Dibbling. He's got to hit the target, drags it across the defender, wayward shot instead of just getting it back across the keeper with his right foot. If he sticks that one in, maybe it's a different game. But
absolutely.
He's high and wide with it. The only other chance we created in the first half was a long throw and a header, which is baffling to me. I don't know what was going on. And then the goal we concede, absolutely shambolic. It's a terrible goal. Ball comes in, lad goes for it with Coleman. Coleman doesn't know where the ball's gone, therefore leaves the player, just runs off him and volleys it. Travers pushes it back into the danger zone. Michael Keane doesn't react because he's ball watching. Dwight McNeil watches the whole thing and doesn't bother to jog in, and then Michael Keane chests it in when it's going back across the goal, and you're behind from nowhere, and you're like, where's that come from? Because they were doing nothing either, really. They'd done nothing.
Wow.
And you're behind, and when that goal goes in, it's like, that's probably just done. Because that's how it feels right now. Yeah. The Villa game, for me, I keep saying it, that was when the worry, the sort of doubts come into me, because they were so poor that day. They were there for the take. It was like, please beat us 3 or 4-0, and we couldn't. Anfield's a different thing, and then that last night was worrying. But the goal was just so bad, and when it's like that and you can look at it, and I've watched it about 10 times because I can't believe what's playing out in front of me. I'm looking going, Dwight McNeil, you're watching Minetti, he's 2 foot away from you. Why is he allowed to walk in that space and you don't react? Michael Keane, why aren't you alive to the situation? Coleman, how come you've lost the ball? Goes in the air and you're doing this. Like, you know, it's just so bad. Such a bad goal, and we're behind.
No, it was a terrible goal, and players are standing around. Like, Jake O'Brien's the wrong side of two players.
Two players, yeah.
He's the wrong side of two players. If he's on the behind that, he just wins that in the air. He wins that in the air, but he's the wrong side. And again, I'm a broken record, and I won't apologise for it. But when you've got centre-backs playing right-back, and when you've got right-backs playing left-back, this is what's going to happen, isn't it? This is what's going... I have no problem... Like, as I said, I've said this loads of times, no problem with Jake O'Brien playing right-back. But you have to start mixing it up. You have to start looking at these games and going, well, why do we need Jake O'Brien?
Why didn't he play, like... Why couldn't he have played Jake O'Brien centre-back? Give Toffee a rest. Toffee's been coming back to the wins. He's got better the last couple of games. But why didn't you just play O'Brien and put Coleman at right back and play Asner at left back?
These are the things that baffle the average fan, I think. You know, I'm an average fan.
Yeah.
And this is what baffles the average fan of, like, you've made changes and yet you still, like, you put if you're going to make that many changes, I'd rather Asner played left back last night than Dwight McNeil played left midfield. I've seen everything Dwight McNeil has got to give Everton. And in my opinion, he's not good enough. I've said it, I've always been consistent with it. He's not good enough to play for Everton Football Club. And if we want to go to take the next step, he's never going to be good enough. So why is he on the pitch? You've got a young lad there starting his Everton career that the manager's like, I'm not sure about. Play him left back and play Jack Grealish ahead of him. Because saying this last night, Jack Grealish doesn't give the ball away. So for me, if I'm a full-back, and I'm attacking full back, I'm all day. I'm going past him every time because what I know is he's not gonna do something stupid. So I get caught up the pitch, and this is something that needs to be told to our whoever's playing left back. So I'm the young left back last night. Put him in, give him a go. Let's see what happens. I'm not being funny, right? We would have found out more about Asner playing left back last night than I have about McNeil playing left midfield. Same with Tyler Dibblin. He's played now. He's had some game. We can work on what needs to come more out of him, and that's fine. I've no problem with that at all. The same with Barry. You can look at Barry's performance last night and you can go, do you know what? The gap maybe we should have brought a third striker in. To help in those moments, to bridge that gap of where he is and where Beto is. But at least you're finding that out, and Barry's finding out more about the game. Like you said, you've got to be more physical. You've got to take your frustration not out on the ball, but out on those players. I don't mind that. I don't mind finding out about players and going, oh, I'm a little bit disappointed. Tieram Abunam, he's had a bad... There was a moment in the second half where we keep the ball for ages. He gets the ball, runs through the middle, and then he's got so many options and he overruns it and they get the ball back and you've wasted all that time. But at least you're finding out about young players. I love Seamus, but that last night is like, what are you doing? Why are you playing a lad like Seamus Coleman at left back? I was there for his first game at left back. He wasn't very good for it. They're the decisions where the average fan, I think, just goes, why? And then the flip side of that is a lot of fans will go, why did we have to make like any changes? This was a fantastic opportunity to get through in the cup by making maybe 2-3 changes.
And we haven't won since we beat Wolves in August. So go and win the game again and go, right, we're back on it again. You know, there's 3 games now since we won a game, and these things build up. You know,
it puts pressure on the next game.
So half time he took Barry off. Beto came on. In fact, Beto's first action was really good. Pulled up, killed it, spun the lad and won a free kick. It was brilliant. Like, do that all the time.
You know, he actually touched the ball less than Barry.
Did he?
Beto.
Yeah, no, I'm saying it was a great start.
That's not a goal, but that's it is crazy the second half. Like, I'll be honest, right? I'm worried about the goal scoring situation because we even though we've got Njai and Grealish on the pitch, we still don't create anything. We create nothing. The balance of the team is wrong. It's because the fullbacks, and I think that's why he brought Mikalenko on, is he wanted someone to go past.
So put out.
No, I know. I'm just saying that's why he brought him on, because he wanted someone to go past Grealish, because Grealish is getting the ball again and again and again, and people, like we were saying, people just stand around and watch him. People just stand there and go, God, aren't you a good footballer? God, you're really good. Nobody comes over and helps him. Dewsbury Hall doesn't come over and help him. The fullback doesn't help him.
He has been, though.
No, I know, but I'm saying every time Grealish gets the ball, the fullback should go past him and one of the midfielders should come in for him, so he's got two options. And it's the same with Njai. But because of our fullback situation, people just stand back and watch and go on, mate, you do it all. We're not creating anything. And that's a real worry to me. That has to be changed. That something has to be changed. When we've got two really creative players and everyone's just standing off. Got to have runners, you've got to have players going past them, and
There's the big worry for me in there was when this is in there. There's nothing in that midfield. Thought James Garner did all right.
Yeah, he played well.
But without a Drisser in there, getting it back and getting you on the front foot, there's nothing in it. And so, gonna have to be the makeup of that's gonna have to be looked at, because he's away for 7 games.
Well, obviously there's no mail and roll.
No, I know, but there's a lot on his toes now, because the others aren't up to it. So,
Tiernan Boonham's not that player. We said it from day one. He's not that player, and I don't think you can. I just think the attributes that make a Disagana Gay the player he is and why he still plays for Everton just aren't. You've said it. They're just not in a Tiernan Boonham. They're just not there. He doesn't read the game the way as a Disagana Gay. And very few people do. That's what makes a Disagana Gay such a good player. Is that he reads the game so well and he sees the opportunities. Tiernan Boonham just doesn't have that. He's not that kind of player. James Garner's a 6. So you don't expect that from him. We'll have to see whether Maitland Roller's got that ability to see that. Last night would have represented a really good opportunity. But once again, a player gets injured when he's really in his development, as New did at the beginning of the season, when there's opportunities, and that's what makes it so frustrating. Last night is the wrong players came into the team because of the players are not fit, and until we get Branthwaite back and we have he's head and shoulders better than Michael Keane anyway, but we have someone at the back who's comfortable on the ball, and that gives us that balance. And and we have either Michalenko fit or Asnu's up to speed. But yeah, you just look at it and just, it's how we bridge that gap, isn't it? Like the Barry situation, it's like we've advocated for playing him, but then you watch him and go, well, how long is that going to take? Like that, and that is the horribleness of the Premier League, is like, you need those ready-made players.
I think what I would say about Barry is last night he played the first half where he wasn't playing with the proper players.
Yeah.
And we've seen this before. I think we probably all played in teams where you want to be on with the best players and sometimes you're not, and therefore you don't get anything and things like that. If you'd have been on with Grealish and then Jai, Dewsbury Hall there, would he have been? We know that he makes a big difference when he's on with them players.
I must admit though, I think David Moyes maybe should have left them on for 10 minutes after the half.
I think you're just worried about him getting.
No, I know, but I think with half time coming, calm down. I'm going to bring these players on. Just calm down.
Get yourself a chance.
Don't do anything stupid. You are going to get, because he did do something just not long after, it was a little bit aggressive.
He did. Yeah.
You come off. I do think that, to me, that sends. I thought that sent the wrong message last night to Barry of like, I get it though. Don't get me wrong, I get it. If he doesn't get booked, he doesn't come off. I 100% get that. You shouldn't be kicking the ball away like that. You've got to control your emotions. But I also just thought, well, are we going to do this every game? Are we going to do this every game? Beto's crap, get off. Barry, go on.
Well, yeah, that's what he'll do.
But it's not going to help anyone, is it?
No, but that's
not going to help anyone.
We've seen it because we've seen it in every game.
Yeah, it's not going to help. It's not going to help. And Moyes' blind spot has always been the centre forwards. It's always been the centre
defender.
Always been the centre forwards.
He's a defender, so he was a defender by trade. So that's, you naturally gravitate to what you know. I think you can get away with it in midfield plays because there's a defensive aspect to it. But attacking, that's why I keep going on about a centre forward coach. because that's their defined margins making it better. We needed a third striker. I said this if Chimiti was getting let go, we needed a third striker just as a little buffer.
Yeah.
But we didn't, so we're going to have to go with it. Obviously, Grealish and Jai came on and made it a little bit better, of course. The best two chances we had, James Garner at the crossbar with a good free kick, was unlucky. And then he had the other one, he won and tried to bend it down the keeper, and the keeper made a decent stop. But everything else was nearly moments. Yeah. And Jai got himself in 3 or 4 times and then couldn't pick anyone out. And then the one at the end where he's running through and he cuts back inside that. And why he's hitting it with his left foot, that's never going in. Just wastes the opportunity. O'Brien got one at the far stick, which their keeper saved, but someone should have come short for a little knockdown. And that was it. They didn't really have anything until we decided to just part like the Red Sea and let a lad who's never scored a goal run through. And Mark Travers goes to the ground and shows him the whole goal. It was like making it the easiest goal he will ever score. And that's it. It was game over, and out we go. And the manager can say he's disappointed and frustrated, but I think he'll be a little bit shocked as well at how bad we were when he looks back at it and looks at certain players and thinks, wow, you just weren't up to it. And that's sort of a worry now, isn't it? Because we've all been saying how strong the bench is looking, but if you can't come in.
I also feel players who play, you know, and come in together, it is always difficult. It'll always, you know, but the managers, you know, you got to look at it like that, haven't you? Like, you've made that amount of changes. It's always going to be hard. You know, no one was expecting a great performance last night. They were just expecting Everton to do enough to get through. Because you pull all the players in together, and they are, let's be honest, the players who've been, Carlos Alcaraz been pushed to the bench, you know, straight away, do you know what I mean? Barry's come in, Dibblin come in there, 2 young ones. Taylor Boonham's started the season in the team, but goes back onto the bench. They're young, some of them are young. That's why I don't get the White McLean playing or Seamus Coleman starting. I really don't, because they're the other end, and I just don't see the point. But then at the same time, the manager should expect a level of professionalism and experience to just go in and go on, just go in. You've played enough games in the Premier League to know how to just go in this team and do your job. But he's seen them now, isn't he? And that's what the manager will take from it. The manager will take from it, I expected these players to have done the job. It's just that from our point of view as a fan, we've seen this so many times. It's such a recurring theme at Everton. And the manager will look at it and go, well, I'm trying to break that. I'm trying to break that cycle of this is what happens when we need a squad, or we should have a squad that we break this cycle. And they've not done it. So that gives him loads of food for thought, but doesn't help us because we're out the cup. Yeah. So it's like, that's the frustrating part, isn't it? Yeah. The manager might go, well, we could have started all our players and we could have got through, but it doesn't help in the grand scheme of things. But as a fan, you're like, well, yeah, but we're through. And all we want to do is win a trophy. And that's
the priority for him is the Premier League, though, isn't it?
Well, that's it. And it goes back to when we lost one of those games under Marco Silva, and the infamous accepted defeat came out afterwards, didn't it? Yeah. And it was like, no, when we've said we're not bothered about this competition. This is to help settle players in. And that's when players. The true sort of, you got a true peek behind the curtain, wasn't it? Of like, we're not, that sounds stupid, but the most important thing from this competition is looking at players, giving the players an opportunity, and that's because the Premier League.
I know, but I'd have that. I'd have that if the likes of Arsenal played. I'd go.
No, I 100% agree.
That's what they're doing. They're trying to develop. Mark Travers, okay, we've hardly ever gone to play, so you want to make sure I'm with you, by the way, the left pick for them, but there you go. You know, well, we've got to give Travers a game, he's the number 2, okay. But to do that, and then to have Seamus at left back, and then put Mikalenko on, when you're 1-0 down, chasing a goal, surely you put the lad who flies up and down on and see whether he's actually good enough. Yeah. That to me just doesn't. That's where
No, that's you're right, because you're saying you're saying, well, what are you putting Mykolenko on for then? Why are you bothered about getting something out of this game now, where the team at the beginning suggests that you're not bothered about getting something out of this game?
If Mykolenko was an attacking fullback, I'd understand. Go, okay, he's gone for they've produced it X amount of time. He's not. He's a defensive fullback.
We'll just go 3 at the back.
If we were 1-0 up and he put him on to see it out, I'd go.
We'll just go 3 at the back. They were offering nothing.
Yeah, they did. There was nothing.
They were offering absolutely nothing. Just go 3 at the back and go. We're just sticking another attacking. I can't remember who else was on the bench, but you know, we're going to stick another attacking kind of player onto the pitch and whatever. They weren't doing anything. So why bother?
Really frustrating. Let's have a look at James Garner's stats from the game. There we go. Passing accuracy completed 62 of his 66 passes. 4 out of 5 of his long balls. Won 8 out of 13 of his ground duels. Put 13 tackles in. And had 3 ball recoveries as well. And also had Everton's probably best 2 opportunities in the game as well. And he is in good form. He is someone who would think the manager can look at and be like, yeah, he's doing well for us. He's consistent every week and getting the performance, whether he's left back or midfield. And that's a positive to take out the game. Let's have a look at the stats from the game as well. There you go. Wolves 2, Everton 0. 4 shots on target.
4 shots?
Sorry, I mean, he's got the wrong way round. 13 shots to Wolves, 18 to Everton. Both have 4 on target. Everton's
classic James
was 1.4 to 0.3, and Wolves shaded the possession 53% to 47. And yeah, listen, it was the fears were there, weren't they? Yesterday we were talking about the changes, how it plays out in this competition. It was a tricky game because they haven't won a game, weren't really that bothered about it, so therefore they've almost able to just swing punches with no consequences, and Everton have done what Everton have done throughout my life. I said on my match reaction last night, I should have known this back in when we were the best team in the land and we played Grimsby. We had 32 attempts at goal and they had 1, and we lost 1-0 in this competition. I should have known that it was cursed for us then, you know, Al Hansen playing basketball on a goal line at Wembley and stopping us winning, and it's just gone on, and everyone will have their own stories, getting beat by York City, Bristol Rovers.
I was at York City.
You know, it goes on and on.
I think the most frustrating thing from last night is, in many ways, it doesn't, but it undermines a lot of what we've seen so far this season, and the fan base, rightly or wrongly, it becomes a meltdown, doesn't it? It becomes an absolute meltdown.
Well, people are frustrated.
No, I'm not criticizing anyone. I'm saying it becomes a meltdown because everyone sees it in a slightly different way, and it's just. You go back to going, well, you can play your strongest team and just get through. The manager tried something, but the manager tried something different, and it hasn't worked. He's gone too far, but it's just undermines. You know, sitting here a few weeks ago and everyone's dead happy. We've won 3 in a row going international, and then suddenly it's like, well, we haven't won in the last 3. We've, you know, and then you're playing a couple of home games and the pressure builds on those games then. And it's, that's you suddenly it's like, well, it's just back to being Everton again, isn't it?
But that's what everyone will look at now. Yeah. All the manager's done with that last night, put pressure on himself, because people are asking questions about him. They will anyway when you lose a game. He'll know that. He's not stupid. He knows the club. But people are asking questions, in my opinion, unnecessarily, because he's brought that question to him. If he'd have played the likes of Arsenal and people like that, what could we have said? He'd have gone, trying to give the squad game and trying to build this young lad up so he's a real option in the Premier League. We can't now, because Seamus Coleman was
that's the... And then you say, well, why did we buy him? What's the point? What was the point in buying him? You know, because people...
£9 million could have got us another attacker.
People keep saying, you know, I'm told quite consistently, you know, you buy these young players, you've got to play them. We're not playing them though. We're not giving them opportunities. We're not giving them opportunities off the bench. We're not going to start them in the League Cup when you're playing players who are basically finished. Then what are you saying? Are you saying to the people who brought you these players, I didn't want this player. and I'm not going to play him, and I'd rather play a 36-year-old right back at left back than play this young lad who you brought to me. What's it saying?
No, that's it.
What's it saying? Do you know what I mean? So that's where that's the frustration, isn't it? That is the frustration. You might as well play, kids, than what we were shared last night. So very, very frustrating.
Yeah, we got beat 2-0. We're rubbish. We were out. But it's all thoughts and everything now has to turn to West Ham. West Ham Monday night's a massive game. Now Everton have got to stop the rot, which is 3 games without a win, and it is a rot because we got ourselves in a decent position in the league. Beat West Ham. Okay, we'll all feel good about it, and we will be then hanging on into that upper echelons of the Premier League where we want to be, and got to do it. But one thing I will say, we're all crying for Europe. We'd love a team to be in Europe, but we're going to need better players, and we're going to need players who know how to play football midweek games, because that you can't turn up like this, make changes and put performances in like this. It can't. So
yeah, but that's why the Carabao Cup needs group stages.
Yeah, we'd still be in it, and Arsenal might get a game. There you go. Let us know what you think in the comments section below. Wolves 2, Everton 0. Disappointment again. Not if you're a Wolves fan and you're watching this, of course you won't be disappointed. But there you go. Make sure you like, subscribe. See you later.